Hello, Astrid. How are you? Is everything okay?
Good evening, teacher. I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Let's start with today's practice, please. We're going to continue working on this document. Let me know, please, what you remember about it. We got to see only the introduction, Astrid, but let's see what you remember about the vocabulary and the words we covered here. So what can you tell me about this article? What you remember that we covered?
We talk about the people that are grumpy, and we talk about to embrace our personalities.
All right, good. And how can you describe this expression, Astrid, if you try to understand that with the article? What is mood shame? If we were talking about embracing your personality, or people, right, who are grumpy, or people who are sad, right, or who have those emotions, how can you describe mood shame? They say that mood shame is bad for you.
Um mood shame. For example, when I don't accept maybe or embrace my bad moments or other circumstances that maybe it isn't good.
Oh, right, good, exactly, right? In simple words, that's it, right? When you don't accept yourself, when you don't accept your emotions, when you don't accept the way you feel, and you believe that that's bad for you, that's actually bad, right? Believing that that is bad, that you feel sad, is actually bad for you, right? So let's keep working. I think we have everything, and it's great, Astrid. We are going to work with these two paragraphs, please. Let's read them out, please, those ones.
Imagine that you just experienced something unpleasant. Your friend has forgotten your birthday, just being rejected for a new job, or you just waking up on for January and remember you need to go to work. How would you typically respond to those? You might try to tell yourself that it doesn't matter and not let get to you. You might try to avoid thinking about the bad news, and when it does seep into your consciousness, you'll question why you are so thin-skinned.
All right, great, perfect. Thank you very much. So we're going to take a look at those words, but at the end. All right, at the end. First, only with the words you can understand, Astrid. How can you explain these two paragraphs?
Maybe when you feel bad or your friend maybe um, or the people who you uh, uh, who they are important for you maybe uh, don't don't do good things for you or maybe forget special days or maybe like on that maybe it will be bad and sad for someone but uh, you tried to forget or to avoid to think about because you try maybe in your consciousness to feel better but you always have the maybe um that idea that bad idea.
Great. Okay, great. I think it was greatly explained, Astrid. I don't have anything else to add over there. I only have one question to see if we get what the article is following, because everything was perfect. So When you say, right, imagine that you have this situation, Astrid, like this one. Okay, you've been rejected for a new job. Of course, that's not, and you believe that this job is important for you, but you are rejected and you say, it's okay, right? I don't care. So if you do that, according to the article, is it good or is it bad when you do that? When you say, it's okay, it doesn't matter, I'm okay.
Uh, I think it's good, but sometimes it happened for maybe this for when you are or when you start to do something, but then when, for example, if you are applying for many times maybe, and I think that the idea changed because you don't feel good, and you can say that, but in your conscious maybe you feel bad or just that.
Good, exactly. Uh-huh. And even if it's not many times, even if it's only one, right? This article is going to tell you you have to accept that you are not. I mean, you don't have to say, "Oh, I'm bad. I'm going to die because I have been rejected," right? No, but you have to say, "I think I'm angry," right? Or I think I'm sad, right? But I think the article is going to tell you you should accept, even if you are a little bit sad, even if you are a little bit angry, right? It's better to express that than simply say, I don't care, it doesn't matter, right? But in fact, it matters, right? It doesn't matter if it's only one work, it's always going to affect in a certain way. And of course, it's not saying that you have to feel bad for everything. No, but the article is telling you that you have to accept that. Now, actually, well, these two words, please, Astrid. This one you read it correctly the second time, but let's practice to make that sure. How do you read this one more time?
Consciousness.
Good. Exactly. With the should, right? Not only like should, but should. Good. Consciousness, correct. And what about this one?
Thin skin.
All right. Good. It's better. This ed, right? Only like t, right? Thin skinned. Thin skinned. Good. Now, if I tell you, or if I ask you better than telling you, how can you define thin skinned? Do you understand this word? Do you understand the meaning in this context?
And embers. I don't know, teacher.
So here is like, if you analyze this, right? So at the beginning, you are like, I don't care, it's okay, right? I'm not going to let this affect me. You try to avoid it, but when you accept, when you realize that you feel bad because you've been rejected, it's only one job, but you don't like being rejected, right? Nobody likes being rejected. And it's not that you don't care, but you want to pretend that you don't care. So when you accept that you feel bad, you'll question, right? You wonder, am I weak? Okay, weak. Am I too sensitive? Am I too thin-skinned? All right, so that's the meaning. Weak, sensitive, too sensitive. Okay, you believe that because you feel bad just because of one job, you believe that you are too sensitive and that you need to be stronger and anything has to, or nothing, better said, okay, nothing has to affect, right, your happiness and the way you feel, right? That's why sometimes when you feel bad, you believe that you are thin-skinned. All right, so let's try to use this word, please, Astrid, in only one example. Remember, this is an adjective, very similar to sensitive, okay, like too sensitive or weak in terms of emotions, or that you let everything affect you, right? But here it's only what you believe. So what example can you give me about thin skinned using this adjective?
Um, her mother was thin-skinned, about to her son.
Oh, all right. In the last part, you were okay, but what is the context? Why are you saying that his mother is thin-skinned? What context can you add to that one?
Maybe because the the girl was sad and was maybe with problems. I don't know.
Okay. All right. In a certain way, remember, this is like too sensitive, like sensible, but in a very, very radical way, Astrid. And you can see, for example, I think that she's thin-skinned because she always cries. Okay, so if she, all right, if she's always crying and crying, every week she's crying, I believe that she is too sensitive, that she is thin-skinned. All right, it means that everything affects you, but in a big way. All right, but again, it's not that people who are going to feel bad because of this event are weak or thin-skinned. No, right? But this is the meaning of thin-skinned. All right, when everything affects you easily, quickly, and you cry or you feel bad or you feel depressed for everything that happens around you, but absolutely everything. All right. I don't know if you have any questions about this part before going to the next one, Astrid. Let me know, please.
No, it's clear now, teacher. Thank you.
All right. So let's go to this part, please. Over here. We're going to finish with these two elements over there.
I'm going to read.
Yes, please. Let's read it.
And this tendency to screen out and self-punish could be described as mood shame, the belief that having bad feelings is a personal folly. Continually looking on the bright side of life might seem strong, even courageous, but if it's taken too far, we may beat ourselves up for perfectly reasonable responses to events. While it's natural that we might prefer to avoid uncomfortable feelings like disappointment, worry, anger, or sadness, recent psychological research supports the idea that they serve useful purposes in our lives. By learning to see that value and accept those feelings without judgment, we may enjoy better physical and mental health.
Great. Again, right, we are 29, but we're going to use these minutes. Not a lot, all right, but at least 3 more minutes. How can you explain this very in a short way or using your own words, Astrid?
That it's normal to maybe to feel sad and for moments and then to learn about that and yes.
Good. Let's try to explain these some words. All right, let me see. Yes, I'm with a microphone. For example, what is to look on the bright side of life? What is that expression? How can you explain that expression?
Maybe right, maybe doing when you are doing things but you are doing with effort when you make your effort maybe.
All right, it's effort there, but what example can you give me? Again, remember the bright side. When you look always at the bright side of life, what synonym can you use, for example, here instead of bright or bright side? Can you use a synonym or a similar expression? Perhaps it's not going to be exact synonym, but a synonym that works in this expression.
The opposite side. Mm.
All right, but more than the opposite, actually, here, remember, bright means like shiny, the shiny side. Okay, the sun shines, and the light from the sun is very bright. Okay, so in other words, here they are telling you, apparently, okay, might seem, that's why here you can say, apparently, when you want to see the positive life, or sorry, the positive side of life every time, it seems to be strong. Okay, you say, I'm strong. When something happens, I say, it's okay, right? No, no, I think it's good because we are learning, right? So that's the bright side. When you see the positive side to everything, right? And they say this might seem strong, even this word, right? Courageous. But if it's taken too far, right? If you try to see the bright side to everything and you don't accept that some things are bad, there are some consequences, right? And to finish that one, let's try to explain just this one, please, Astrid. That is here. What do they mean when they say this part? They serve useful purposes in our lives. Okay, and they continue by learning to see that value and accept those feelings without judgment. Okay, we may enjoy better physical and mental health. So what are they talking about in this part? What do they mean with they? What are they trying to say over there?
Um, According to before, um, maybe that to avoid, for example, to feel worry and your sadness, um, um, it will be great in the future, maybe for everyone, because we are we are learning about the things were happening to us, and it's it's good to set that like this in the paragraph without judgment, because we always um we always have to prefer maybe the physical and mental health.
All right, thank you, Astrid. Yes, this is a very important word here, right? Judgment. And they, exactly, they is disappointment, worry, anger, okay? Only like good, anger, sadness. So these are good for you. When you're disappointed, it's good for you because it has a value. And when you accept that without judging yourself, right, you can improve physically and mentally. Also, when you're worried, when you're angry, when you are sad, right? Accepting that again and accepting the value of those feelings. And again, judgment not from other people, judgment from yourself, right? You don't have to say, I'm thin skinned, I'm sensitive because I feel bad. No, because sometimes they can be, like they say here, all right, and I'm finishing with that one, they can be perfectly reasonable responses. All right, so it's okay to look at the bright side of life, but not every time, right? And not pretending that everything is okay when you don't feel okay, right? Just that. Again, it's to understand this in general. Let's only repeat these words to finish, and you're going to let me know if you have any other questions, please. Astrid, this is going to be like A, and it's failing. Let's repeat that, please.
Failing.
Failing, right? When you fail a subject, it means that you don't pass the subject, right? That you didn't approve
Um,
that subject. Okay, so it's a personal failing. You believe that having bad feelings, it's a failing, right? But it's not correct. Then this, it was good. Let's just practice. You were not that sure. The stress is over here. Courageous, courageous. Let's repeat that, please.
Courageous.
Courageous, great. This one also, it was good, but the stress is going to be like events in the second part. Events.
Events.
Good. This also, be careful with the stress, is purposes. Purposes.
Purposes.
Good. And this is more like
Purposes.
the and you. Value. Value.
Value. Value.
Value. Exactly. More like the. Good. Value. Great. And that's it for me. I don't know if you have any questions about any of these words, Astrid. Let me know, please.
No, teacher.
All right, good. So again, just to take into account, please remember these words. Astrid, tempting, beat up, that's a phrasal verb, right? Beat up, fight with yourself, embrace, grumps or grumpy, right? And here you have, well, doesn't matter, it's common, but this one, thin-skinned, right? That's very important. This one, I don't know if you got it, but just in case, screen out something is when you avoid, when you eliminate, or when you take something away. Okay, that's the screen out, when you don't take that into account or you eliminate it. All right, and that's it. So to finish, please, as always, I'm sending the survey for today's practice. Is over there, Astrid. As soon as you finish, then you may leave. Okay, thanks for being here. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow in class.
See you tomorrow, teacher. Thank you.
Bye bye. See you.